You could sit like we were for the low legs with your hands behind you. If your knees tolerate a half hero's pose, you're gonna go there. So I'll show you that version. You're gonna bring your roller behind your thigh, right into the belly of the muscle. So the thickest part of the muscle is where you want it. This is where your blocks can be really helpful for supporting you. You can also, if you don't need them, just bring your hands down. And if your knee doesn't do this, your hip and your ankle don't do this, you're gonna get creative with slow motion yoga breakdancing. You come up to sit primarily on the back of that one thigh. You have to play a little bit with where your balance is. Similar to the rest of this work, we're not doing the longitudinal stuff. We are rocking side to side. So this is going to be the most effective approach if your body permits that much mobility, but you're just going to start to work side to side. Yogis overstretch their hamstrings. And then what happens is we keep pulling at the sits bone attachment and develop challenges. What about Ashtanga?
Yoga is the term.
Yes. Yep. Yes. Yeah, and it's more common in Ashtanga because there's so much of that.
Forward folding.
Too much forward folding. Yeah. Yep. I know I've had so many yogis walk into class with their yoga strap wrapped around their thigh and they're punching their sits bones. And I'm like, stop. Stop forward folding so much. So then, something to try for the yoga butt Ashtangis is to shift forward. So I know I said no longitudinal work, but you're actually going to get it back to that attachment site. So if you roll forward and down over the roller, like bring the roller right up in front of the sits bone, you're giving everything back that's been pulled away. It's kind of like an exchange. And then you're not going to pull away from it because that wouldn't be kind. So it's awkward. You're going to come back, return to that thicker body of the belly of the muscle, and find that again. So in Tom Meyer's work in the Anatomy Trains text, he talks about building the mountains and digging out the valleys of the body. So where the tissue is really built up, you want to kind of move away from that. So like with the hamstrings, it would be built up in the middle. So you move away from that built up point and kind of bring it away or give it back to the part that's being pulled. And then in the valleys, or the parts where things are really, it's more along the spine than it is the back of the thighs, but then you would want to kind of carve out those areas that are, like if you looked at, this is more for massage therapists, but like if you look at the spine of someone when they're laying down, if it's dipping in, that means the muscles around the sides of the spine are really built up, so you kind of want to dig out that valley of the spine, versus if someone has a really pronounced bony processes, you want to give it back